I remember the sound before anything else, the hiss in his voice. "You're outdated. We're done here." The CEO leaned back in his chair like he'd just swatted a fly. Years of my work reduced to a sentence. I didn't argue. I didn't flinch. I nodded once and said, quietly, "Understood." That was the moment the retirement trust activated its voting rights. He didn't know it yet. Neither did my family. But betrayal has a smell. Once you catch it, you never forget it. They taught me loyalty young. My parents, I mean. Or at least they pretended to. Dinner table speeches about fairness, about legacy, about how blood meant protection. I believed them. I believed my brother most of all. He was louder, sharper, always first in line for praise. I was the quiet one, the one who fixed things behind the scenes. When they died, the will was read in a room that smelled like old paper and fake sympathy. My brother got companies, accounts, properties, numbers so large the lawyer had to pause between them. I got a painting, cracked frame, muted colors, something abstract and joyless. My brother smirked when it was handed to me. "That's all you deserve," he said. I said, "Okay." People mistake silence for weakness. That's their first mistake. The painting hung in my apartment for months, not because I liked it, because I wanted to understand why my parents had kept it hidden in a climate-controlled vault while everything else sat in plain sight. I noticed the back first, new screws on an old frame, wrong type, too modern. I didn't rush. I waited, I measured, I photographed. Then I opened it. Behind the canvas was a steel plate. Behind the plate was a key. Not symbolic, not sentimental, functional. Laser-edged numbers, coordinates, a deposit box code. And suddenly the inheritance made sense. The box wasn't at a bank, it was beneath one. Private vault, old money infrastructure. The kind designed for people who don't trust institutions because they own them. Inside were documents. Originals, share certificates, trust deeds, shell companies nested inside other shells, and one familiar name repeated like a confession, my brother's, alongside a timeline of transactions that didn't belong to him or my parents. They belonged to me. My parents hadn't favored him. They'd protected me, and they'd tested me. That's when the pain ended and the planning began. I hired no one I couldn't fire. I spoke to no one who asked unnecessary questions. I moved money the way surgeons move hands, precise, minimal, irreversible. I activated dormant clauses, consolidated trusts, verified signatures. I discovered that the retirement account my brother joked about at Christmas dinners held controlling interest in the company where I worked, 76%, owned by a trust, managed by me. I didn't confront him. I watched. I watched him siphon funds, watched him boast, watched him prepared to sell what he thought he owned. I recorded everything, not illegally, carefully, through channels designed for men like him to feel safe being ugly. Meanwhile, at work, the CEO sharpened his knife. He thought I was obsolete because I didn't posture, didn't network loudly, didn't threaten. I let him fire me. I let the email go out. I let HR escort me. I smiled at security like this was a favor. At 11:59 p.m., the trust voted. At 6 a.m., the board convened. By Monday morning, the question wasn't why I was gone. It was who had just fired the person who owned them. My brother showed up at my door 3 hours after the emergency meeting leaked. He wasn't smirking now. He was sweating. Behind him are cousins, an uncle, people who hadn't called me in years. "Give it back," he shouted. "You stole it." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. "It was never yours," I said. "You were just renting it." That's when I handed him copies. Not everything, just enough. The room went silent as paper did what yelling couldn't. They left without another word. The fallout was surgical. The CEO resigned for personal reasons. The board issued statements about governance failures. Stock stabilized, then rose. A new interim chair was announced. My name wasn't in the press. That was intentional.
My brother's accounts were frozen pending investigation. His deals collapsed, partners vanished. People who once laughed at his jokes stopped answering calls. He sent me messages, long ones, short ones, angry ones, pleading ones. I never replied. I still have the painting. It hangs in my office now, not as art, as a reminder. Betrayal doesn't always come with a knife. Sometimes it comes with a smile, a will, a signature at the bottom of a page you didn't read carefully enough. They thought I was passive because I was patient. They thought I was poor because I was quiet. They thought I was expendable because I didn't demand credit. They were wrong. Justice doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it waits, builds, then votes. And when it's done, it doesn't scream. It simply takes everything back.